Hey, what's going on, people? I got to give a special shout out to Nikki. Wherever you are, Nikki, I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, I just want to talk about this Trayvon Martin. Them releasing the evidence, and for me, I don't know. Maybe I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but to me, all of this is just leading up. To me, the information was released by the prosecution that he had weed. He had THC in his blood. But to me, I mean, some people might say, "Oh, well, that's no big deal. Everybody smoke weed. Even white people smoke weed." But the thing is, to me, that what they're trying to do is paint a picture. Like they're saying that George Zimmerman profiled him, but the jurors themselves, right? To me, the jury pool is going to be poisoned, thinking to themselves, "Okay, this guy was smoking weed." Then it's already come out that he was suspended from school. Now, none of that has anything to do with his case, but people in their minds, they have pictures painted of what a black man is, and I hate to say, but a lot of them, the portrait people have is of a black man is of a wild animal. Now Trayvon was just a child, he was a teenager, but they figure he was like, coming into being that wild animal. He's smoking weed. I don't know what else they're gonna come up, but there's negative stuff that it's more than likely it's gonna come out as well, and eventually you're gonna have to find 12 people who are not gonna think like, what, maybe this this is a wild young black man in the making, and maybe he actually did attack that man. He had to shoot him to save his own life. Now I'm not saying Zimmerman won't get convicted. He still might get convicted of like some lesser charges, but the whole thing kind of gets back to whether or not Trayvon actually attacked him, and whether they can get people. He wants people to believe that Trayvon attacked him, and I don't know. Alright, for those who don't understand what I'm talking about, the wild animal thing, I believe it was last year, there was a video of there was a girl on the bus. A guy said something to her about how she was treating the kid on the bus. The girl called up her people. The bus stopped. There were about 3 or 4 guys waiting. These 3 or 4 guys got the girl and their child off the bus, and they shot up the whole bus. If you were to freeze frame that picture, there were about 3 or 4 guys. You guys didn't actually see the guns until I think after outside the bus they started shooting. The only reason why people didn't get killed is because the bus driver stepped on the gas and took off. But if you were to freeze frame that image, unfortunately, I believe that's how most non-black people look at black people. Like, boom, that's a portrait of all black men. Those guys who were crazy enough to shoot up that whole bus over some little minor incident like that could have killed a bunch of people. That's how they see black people. We're violent, we're dangerous, we're ready to fight at the drop of a hat, we want to sell drugs. That's our way of making the American dream, by selling drugs. We have kids by multiple women, and even our women, actually, they're in the wild animal portrait as well, because it used to be like our women were looked at as being, the better half of us. But you see videos of black women fighting with each other, fighting with men, fighting with cops. You see that too. And that image in people's minds, to me, damages the case against Zimmerman, because any jury pool, is going to have a hard time finding 12 people at least one person who doesn't think like that is going to be like, what? I think that this wild black guy, he was a wild black man in training, and he was eventually. I mean, as soon as the incident happened, some people were saying it was a good thing. I saw it on blogs on the internet. People were saying it was a good thing that it happened, that he killed him, because Trayvon was eventually going to grow up to kill. I mean, they were predicting his future, saying he was going to eventually grow up to kill someone. So Zimmerman killing him stops Trayvon from eventually killing someone else. And I'm just like, I know people have been committing crimes their whole lives. They've never killed anybody. In fact, if they ever had a wild animal test, I hate to say it, a lot of people don't realize most black men would fail it. I mean, you got guys, a lot of people probably believe that we are like that, because, when you look at the news, you got guys shooting cops in the face, stabbing cops in the head. We're here in New York City. There's been like about 3 or 4 cases in like the last couple of months. Guys are stabbing cops in the head, shooting cops in the head, in the face, and basically killing cops. And a couple of cops have survived those attacks, but that's about as far as you can go. You can't get any more violent than that. I mean, we kill each other left and right. That's like an everyday occurrence. So that's not even That's not even on. People already have that in their mind that we kill each other left and right, so they know we do it to each other. But we branch out. But the thing is not as wide. The wild animal test. I believe if you were to take 2 out of every 3 black men would fail it. I can't even say what the wild animal test was, but if you were to see who was really wild and who was really crazy, take the guns out the equation. They say everybody had to go crazy one-on-one using a knife or using their hands or using a clubs. Most guys aren't going to be all that tough. The gun factor. They got to. You can do a lot of guys are really tough when it comes. They can get a gun, do some long distance fighting. But if you take that out the equation, But even with that in the equation, I think a lot of people would be really disappointed if they tried to do some test to see just how wild black men are. They will find out that most of us are not as big and bad, and as wild as people really think we are. But unfortunately, the reputation. The reputation gets us women. The women love it, but reputation also has people looking at us as like, we're guilty, we're just guilty from the jump. And even though Trayvon is the one who got killed, and here people unfortunately the reputation, people are going to, not of his reputation, but the reputation of black men in general, people are going to think that he's guilty, think that he's the one who caused himself to get shot. And I'm actually expecting more stuff to come out. Even though the prosecution put this information out, I'm expecting more negative stuff to come out. And as the more stuff that comes out, the jury pool is going to get, when the case comes up, the jury is going to tell to ignore any of that stuff and just deal with what's, in the case, that what's being presented with the case. But that stuff is still going to influence people's minds. So I guess we just have to wait and see what happens. But anyway, just want to, do a rest in peace to Donna. Something I heard I'm pretty sure everyone heard she died. I was feeling really bad. I actually felt really bad because I hadn't thought about Donna Summer in a long time. But she was sexy. She had a wonderful voice. For those of you, a lot of people playing her records, but to me her favorite record was this record called Try Me. It was a great instrumental record, even without her singing, but her singing helped it out too. But for those of you who've never heard of it, Google it, and look it up on YouTube. You can play some of it from YouTube. It's a really, really nice record called Try Me. But anyway, that's my opinion on what's going on with that. And like I said, we'll see what happens. Thanks for listening, people. Peace.